Alright, hello, this is DD Gaming's Nursky coming to you with some live actual visual information from the official patch release of 1.3 on the North American server. Just going to go over the balance changes in particular that happened with this patch. So I'm just going to go straight down the list. First we're going to start off with the Protoss mothership change. Used to be that Archon toilet would kill absolutely everything. Vortex has now changed. The units that enter the Vortex no longer will just die instantly when they come out of the Archon toilet. They will be immune to damage for 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to actually show you how that pans out, because it actually might be a little surprising to you guys. So I'm going to dump all these units in here. And when they pop out, you'll actually see the result. So as you can see, actually surprisingly enough, they still do quite a bit of damage. I mean, when they pop out of the vortex, they're still going to be right on top of the units, and Archon still do splash damage. I'll get it out of my mouth eventually to their target. So it actually did do a lot of damage to this Terran ball still for just the cost of 5 or 6 Archons. So it's still useful, I'd say. It's not as useless as people thought it would be, but overall not, anything absolutely amazing. The next change is the High Templar. I'm going to go over here to my Protoss base. And that is now that with the Kaldarian amulet removed, you can warp in your Templar, but they've got no energy for Storm. They have to wait. Even assuming you have Storm researched, which is the only research option now available in the Templar archives, you have to wait for Storm. They can still feed back, obviously, as they pop out. And in case anybody was curious, no, if you try and build them out of a non-warp gateway, it doesn't do you any good. They still only come out with 50 energy, so it's still better to warp them in if you want to make them. Next change we'll go to is the Zealot Charge, and this is actually a pretty good change, I personally think. Take my units off of hold position. So I'm just going to try with these Templar, or Zealots I should say, placed up near this ledge, to just get this Marauder to stem straight across here, through the Zealots, and down the other side of the ramp. Run, Marauder, run! Oh, 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 oh! And as you can see, he dies. You can't actually outrun it anymore. In case you're curious, I'll actually just run towards them and then back up. They all hit, even though he's running away. So I'll put these units back on hold position. And we'll go to the next change. I said hold position, all of you. Alright, so now the next change we're going to go to is the battle cruiser. Down here at the bottom. And before I actually talk about the battle cruiser, I'll briefly talk about the Viking flower. They nerfed it so that you can't hide Vikings with the Viking flower move anymore. As you can see, the movement looks oddly strange. I guess you can still kind of hide Viking numbers this way. I mean, it definitely would be easy to count the Vikings like this, but it definitely looks really goofy. So, I don't know if I messed it up or not. I haven't had even attempted to do a Viking flower in a long time, but looks pretty darn normal to me. So, I don't know. We'll see. The next thing is the battlecruiser movement speed increase. Battlecruisers now move 1.88 speed. This puts them on equal terms with both carriers and overlords. As far as like medevacs, banshees, ravens, Vikings, even Mutalists and Corruptors, they all still move faster than battlecruisers. Even Queens still actually move faster in battlecruisers, so they can still even kite battlecruisers while on creep. So really, it just kind of balances out these two units. The carrier versus the battlecruiser. The carrier can no longer outrun the battlecruiser like it used to be able to do. Going on to the next change, bunker time increased. So when you put down your bunker, it will now take 40 seconds instead of 35 seconds to build. And while you think that might not be much, as you're actually watching this, you'll actually notice it takes significantly longer to finish. And I'll let you know when it would actually normally be finished based on the old timing, which would be right about now. It would be done. Instead, we are still building, still building, still building. Done. So that kind of just gives you an idea of the little bit of extra time it takes to actually build a bunker. So the next change we're going to look at is the EMP nerf. The old EMP used to do all the energy and 100 shields. The new EMP will just do 100 and 100. So I will show you that in action. Boom! Oh, run for your life. So as you can see, the sentries still do have force fields. So they can force field in the ghost. Archon still has all but 100 of his shields, so, you know, Archon's still somewhat useful. But more importantly, as the game progresses, sentries might actually still be a lot more viable now, because even when ghosts are on the field, they can't be completely drained in one shot, especially if they've been sitting around where they have 200 energy. So we'll go on to the next change. Stimpack research, I already have research. Everything in this research is instantly, so it's not really worth showing you me researching it, but it's been increased by 30 seconds, so now it'll take you 170 seconds. I don't think this will be a huge change, but will be a change nonetheless. And then the last but not definitely not least change is the change to fungal growth. So here we have little dropship. He's gonna come in and he wants to go drop on the Zerg base and kill some stuff. Make sure these units are actually on hold positions so they don't help. We're gonna have our two infestor buddies back up a little bit. So he's gonna go and drop all his units over here. Infestors are gonna see this and be like, oh no, I need to save my base. So you come running in and boom. One fungal. 2 fungal. All the marines the medevac wasn't healing are dead. And after 4 fungals, even the medevac, and if you time it right, potentially even the last marine would be dead. But you can just kill him with that. He can't stim. He's got no health. Champion. Oh, he's not dancing. We'll watch him kill himself. This is always fun. Blow your brains out, little guy. Do it. Do it. Do it. Boom! And he's dead. Now we'll look at the fungal change against some of these other harder targets. Just to give you guys an idea of how it affects the, with the plus 30 to armored now. So fungal against siege tank and roach. As you can see, roach loses about 1/3 of its life. Tank as well drops about 1/3 of its life. It's a little more than 3 fungals to kill them, but it's approximately 1/3. Marauder and Stalker. Whoa, I had you guys on hold position. State thy bidding. And you can see it takes away the majority of their shields. With the armored units, it's a little easier to see once they actually lose their shields. As you can see, it also does the damage much more quickly. That's 3 fungals, by the way, just now. Stalker's dead. Immortal's taking a lot of damage. So, actually makes the infestors pretty effective against those units. I'm actually going to move the Colossus up forward now. It's still relatively the same against these types of units. It actually still takes 4 fungals to kill these, whereas it only takes 3 to kill a Stalker. Get something like a Colossus or Thor's. It's not necessarily like the greatest. It's better still because it has such a shorter duration. It's been changed to 4 seconds in duration instead of the normal 8, but it still retains the same amount of damage and has plus damage to armor now. So it's definitely more effective because it does the damage quicker. It has a lot more upfront damage, especially to harder targets like Colossus and such forth. But it's not like necessarily doing more damage than it did before. It's just doing it a lot faster. But also has a lot less immobilization than it used to, so you'll have to be faster with the fungal growths if you're going to keep a unit immobilized. It also will kill Banshees, Ravens, Vikings. Kills Vikings actually awfully fast. It only takes 3 fungals to kill Vikings. Get back. Three if you spread them out anyways. If you don't spread them out, it'll take a 4th. Bonus time! Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Do-do-do. 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 Yeah! Look at that. Ridiculous. Die. That is so brutal. All those SCVs. Gone! Gone so quickly. What a short life they lived. Attack infestors. Whoa. Peace out.